Welcome back, everybody. Today we have another escape game. It is the Cemetery of the Night. Can you solve the riddles and unearth the night's legendary artifacts? I love the artwork of this game. According to an old legend, a priceless artifact is said to be hidden in the tomb of Sir Reginald Reston. It can only be found when the moon is at just the right angle in the sky, which only occurs every 87 years. But guess what? Tonight is that night. Do you have what it takes to finally solve the mystery and uncover the night's secret? Alright, so there are some items that we're going to find in the box. If you followed along, we've played a few of these games in the past, so I think we're relatively familiar. I am going to take a quick peek at the box because usually with these games, all parts of the box can somehow be incorporated into the game. So we may be coming back to that. Here are the instructions. We'll read that here in a moment, but I just want to pause in case you're not familiar with how these games are played. You can take a quick peek at the instructions, but I think we are pretty well versed in these by now. So it does look like we have star ratings that we're going to attempt to achieve. Usually I get them in the lower area of the ratings. This is a level 3, which is a medium game, which for me is going to mean it's probably very difficult. But if we can do it in under 60 minutes, we can earn up to 4 stars. It can go from anywhere from 10 stars to 1 stars. Let's see how well we can do. Let's start with the story here. You have become rather famous on account of all the riddle-solving adventures that you have tackled together. You keep getting contacted by people who have mysteries they want you to help solve. But in today's mail, you receive an envelope with no return address. Not only that, there's no letter inside either. Just an old notebook with notes about a legendary artifact, along with an odd disc. After some hasty research, you have learned a little about the legend of Sir Reginald Reston's artifact. This is the exact adventure that you've been waiting for. Every 87 years, exactly at midnight, the moon is said to be at just the right angle above Sir Reston's burial crypt to reveal the artifact's secret, and tonight is one of those nights. You quickly locate the cemetery where the artifact is rumored to be hidden. Work together to solve the secret of the artifact as quickly as you can. Well, as you know, you can play these by yourself, so it is just you and me and this decoder disc that we'll get to in a moment. But let's see what else here is in the packaging. Looks like some of these things we have to cut. This is a one-time use game. Here we have the notes on the legend of Sir Reginald Reston's artifact. Looks like this little leather-bound journal. Guess we'll come back to that here in a moment. We have our playing cards and our cardboard box. You can only use this cardboard insert when the game allows you to. So we won't pull this open just yet, but we can expect to be able to use that. I've got my cards sorted into our riddle cards, our answer cards, and our help cards. We're probably going to need a bunch of those. Now, the other things that we're going to need to play are probably the scissors. Well, we know we are because we have to cut out some pieces. A pen, a pencil, and something to write on if we want to keep notes. The next thing we need to do is indicate the time we are starting. On the back of the instruction booklet here is where you can keep track of your progress. Here are where we list our players. It is Mike and you on today's date in the study. Very Clue-esque. Mike today in the study. It is 7:15 p.m. Let's get started with the notes on the legend of Sir Reginald Reston's artifact. Things have gotten much worse since those people from the press were here. If only I had kept my mouth shut. They published a report about the old legend and the artifact. Nobody knows exactly what kind of artifact it is. Just one thing is clear. The artifact belonged to Sir Reginald Reston. He brought it back a long time ago from one of his crusades and hid it in his burial vault. Now, every day, it's crawling with treasure hunters here who think they might be able to find it. As if I hadn't already been trying for years, the vault simply cannot be opened. Here's something that nobody knows. Today's the night of nights, the last chance to finally find the artifact. Tonight at midnight, when the moon casts its light upon the crypt and reveals the secret, the crypt is the place to be. Exactly, in the crypt. But as I said, the crypt is tightly sealed. I give up. I will never manage to do it. Now I'm off to the pub. I'll raise a few glasses to Sir Reginald Reston. May he rest in peace, together with his cursed artifact. So here we have the gates of the crypt with a riddle card O, so that means we can open up the O card. And here we appear to have what says a reminder of the gate code. So here we have symbols. I guess we need to figure out how they relate to this. We have this symbol here, and this symbol here. And these are drawn together with a line like that, so I don't know if that indicates something. I hate to break out my marker and mark this up so soon, but it's so hard to see otherwise. But I think this goes like that. I think we're just going to have to sketch these out. Just follow the code. So we have this symbol, matches this one. This could be the start of a 3, maybe, or something. Let's continue on. Alright, that did not do anything for us, but I did realize that it has 2 repeating symbols here. I can't believe it, but I think we're going to need a hint already for this one. This is the circle puzzle. So this is the circle hint. It says, to solve this riddle, you have to have found riddle card O. Look at page 3 in the book. You will see riddle card O lying in the front of the gate there. You may now take O and look at it. You will also need page 3 of the book. Where else have you already seen the decorations on card O? Alright, well, I think we already knew that, so that's not really much of a help. The cemetery gate is embellished with numerous decorations which reappear on card O, arranged in pairs. Could it be that something like coordinates are hidden here? You might try entering them in the grid of the gate. There is also a reason why the decorations are arranged in 3 rows on card O. 3 rows, 3-digit code. All of the decorations in the same row are connected to one another. Alright, well, I knew that. I feel like neither of those clues have helped me. But maybe I got too carried away with the, those. Maybe we just need to put like a dot in the middle and connect the dots. If we were to do that, we started with that one to there, to there. So I guess this could be a 3. Another 3, and I guess this is just a 0. No, wait, I'm missing one. Oh, because the last one ended in the same spot, right? So 0. So now we're going to pull out our decoder disc, find the circle, put in the number 3, 3, 0, and that's going to tell us to go to answer card 7. So now, using this, we're going to find which puzzle we're on, which is the gates. It's going to tell us to go to answer card 12. And the gate opens. Fort Knox, the cemetery gate is not. The squeal of the gate rips through the stillness of the night, and a murder of crows rises from the gravestones and flies, screeching into the dark night. You slip quickly through the gate. You saw the keeper going off in the direction of the pub. It will definitely be a while before he returns. Maybe it would be a good idea to start by taking a look inside his house. You are certain to find some useful clues there. His house must be around here somewhere. We have a couple more riddle cards to look at. H and U. Find the cemetery keeper's house. This shows you what to look for. And I think I remember seeing that already when we took a look at the box. They are crafty this way. There we go. We have found his house here on the box. This clue reads, will attest you don't have to guess to fumble blindly, thumb and forefinger. Sir George Godwin, 867 AD to 958 AD. We have some sort of asterisk here. This is the cross puzzle. We have a coat of arms. Don't really understand this clue, but I suppose we might do some math here and see if there's something. How old is he? 91. 0, 9, 1. That gives us answer card 27. And that is not correct. What if we added them together? That would be 12. That's going to be too many. We can't add them together. Okay, first clue. To solve this riddle, you have to have found the riddle cards A, E, and H. If you do not yet have everything, you will first have to solve a different riddle. The decoder disc might also come in handy. Oh, yeah, of course. There's symbols on the back of the decoder disc. I think we are actually supposed to be able to look at all the pages of the book now. So let's see if there's anything in here we missed. We have a bonfire family tree. Sir Irwin Bonfire. Phases of the moon. We have a map of the cemetery. Has some footprints. More symbols. We have gravestones. This reads, Once Upon a Time in the West, a film by Sergio Leone, 1968. From a present-day perspective, this spaghetti western directed by Leone is not only one of the most successful films of its genre, but one of the most successful films of the 60s, no matter that it had a rather rocky start when first shown in Europe. To sum up the plot in a single sentence, what emerges is an epic tale of vengeance, greed, and murder, with 4 people standing in the middle of it, all centered on the construction of a railway line. People sometimes ask whether it was the story itself that was responsible for its success, or was it that the actors were so popular? It's not possible to answer the question today. Along with 2 other movies, Duck, You Sucker and Once Upon a Time in America, which have likewise already gained legendary status, it belongs to Leone's Once Upon a Time trilogy. Duck, You Sucker played in movie theaters 3 years after Once Upon a Time in the West. Once Upon a Time in America only made it to the big screen 13 years after the others. Astonishingly, these films were not very successful at first. The decisive question that the press put to the producers was, were you skimping on your budget this time? The question was never adequately addressed. In Europe, Once Upon a Time in the West gained cult status. As Western fans, we can't promote Leone's work strongly enough, so for us the answer is obvious. For decades, this film was shown over and over in various movie theaters across Europe, particularly in France and in Germany. At the same time, from many people's perspective, it's not a film that's particularly easy on its fans. Once the credits have started to roll, a lot of viewers will have evaluated it as long-winded and relatively difficult, just like what you are reading here. We also have some sort of, pattern, looks like sewing of some sort maybe. And that's the end of the book. So I'm kind of stuck. Where did I go wrong? What did I miss? I realize now that there is another puzzle symbol here on the door, which is the triangle. I'm going to need a hint. So let's go ahead and see what the first hint here is. To solve this riddle, you have to have found riddle card U. That's this. If you do not yet have everything, you will first have to solve a different riddle. You will also need the closed game box. From the illustration on card U, you know how the cemetery keeper's house looks. Does it also appear someplace else? If you find it, a signpost will help you along. We did find it. There's a signpost. So I had to get out a separate flashlight just to see, but there is this little sign right here pointing in this direction, and it says start. So I guess if we are pointing this way, the signpost on the top panel of the box lid leads you from the cemetery keeper's house to the adjacent side on the right. Oh look, there's another signpost. This one is not just pointing in a direction, it is also showing what you need to pay attention to on the next side. And there is yet another signpost. Keep going step by step, side by side, until you are back at the cemetery keeper's house again. We're starting in this direction. And here's a signpost. And it appears that that is a bird, maybe? So we're going in this direction. Here's another signpost. Well, how many birds are there here? 1, 2, 3, or it could be 6. It's either 3 or 6. It's 3 or 6. This, I really can't tell what it is. It's pointing in this direction. I'm going to guess it's a tree. I mean, it is so hard to see what that is. If it is a tree, it's a 1, because I only see the one tree. And then we have another pointing this direction. This is a rat. So if we go this way, how many rats are here? 1, 2, 3. Now that I'm thinking this through, I think maybe this is blank. Maybe we're not supposed to do anything with this side. Because this is the rat. Then we go here and we count 3 rats. And then we have another signpost here. Again, very hard to see what that is. But it's something we're supposed to see on this side. I'm guessing maybe it's the candles. So 4. We have 4 candles. And then we have a signpost pointing us back to our lock. 6, 3, 4 is answer card 16. That's not correct. So maybe it was 3, 3, 4, which is also 16, which is not correct. So we got something wrong. The signposts lead you from one side of the box to the next. They are both on the lid and the bottom. On some of them, you will find little illustrations. That means that you should count these things on the next side of the box. One signpost shows crows, one shows rats, and another shows candles. Count the items on the sign, and you will get 635. Did I miss a candle here? Oh, I did. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is 23. We are at the cemetery house. That's answer card 15. Picking this lock was a piece of cake. The house's furnishings seem very old-fashioned and nostalgic. The cemetery keeper appears to have historical interests. On the table, you will find an odd music box. It seems out of place out in the open like this. As you wind it up, you hear it start to play a familiar melody. Then, in the base, you find a hidden compartment that would, at the very least, make a good hiding place for a clue. So our riddle cards here. We have what says here, the wrong height. and then a bunch of numbers. And then we have this Western character. It says, look at Once Upon a Time in the West in the right light. So I know we don't have enough cards to play this. This, I can't seem to find any sort of riddle symbol. I can only assume that this square is a riddle symbol. If I go to the square, to solve this riddle, you have to have found riddle card V, which we have. If you do not yet have everything, you will first have to solve a different riddle. You will also need pages 9 and 10 of the book. Card V tells you that the riddle has something to do with Once Upon a Time in the West. You will find an interesting report on that film in the book. Now you can see the whole thing in the right light. Once you have done that, you should look for the other 3 things that are described. Now they do say I need pages 9 and 10, which makes me think if I hold this up to the light, to make it easy on us, I've gone ahead and underlined the words that we could see using the gravestones with the heavily underlined bits that look like the bases of the stones. They actually underline the words that read, whether or not you have already played the others, these promote the answer from easy to difficult. One thing that was also in the box were these promotional cards. I didn't show them when we were unboxing because I didn't think they were relevant, but we have from easy to difficult. If we think of it as novice, advanced, and then expert, when I look on the back of the cards, it has the same number of games here, but it says level 1, then level 0, and then level 4. So I think the answer is 104. Which is answer card 26. We are on the music box. That's answer card 19. This lock opens too. Inside the compartment, you find notes about Sir Reston. They're saying something about 3 other knights. Apparently, they were all part of a secret society. You read about an oath of the knights. A secret should be kept forever. You cannot decipher any more as the parchment has not been very well preserved. Maybe you should examine the graves of these 3 knights more carefully. If the 3 of them knew Sir Reston well, they may have shared a secret or 2. 2 more riddle cards. This one says, pious men are here at rest. The date here simply read. Looking elsewhere you will find. Take the crests, no need to linger. Riddle card E. When they came to rest, enter it, more crests, so you don't have between your. I think we need all 3 of these to make a sentence that makes sense. We saw earlier that we had the 3 crests on the back of the decoder disc, and from our one used clue earlier, it says the decoder disc may come in handy. So that's the order we need to put them in. The first, second, and third. Pious men are here at rest. When they came to rest, will attest. The date here simply read. Enter it. You don't have to guess. Looking elsewhere you will find more crests so you don't have to fumble blindly. Take the crests between your thumb and forefinger. No need to linger. The dates of the knights' deaths seem to be important for this riddle. Is it coincidence that the cross, which is the symbol for the date of death, resembles the symbol for the riddle? It is also interesting that all 3 dates of death have 3 digits. Don't you think? Now all you have to do is combine the date of death and the crest for the crest of the decoder disc. The reference to the thumb and forefinger should be taken literally here. And our solution card reads, under the symbol of the cross, enter 904 the date of death for Sir Lionel. Then turn the decoder disc and hold it between your thumb and forefinger. When you do that, your thumb has to be on the crest that matches the one on Sir Lionel's gravestone. From underneath, press with your forefinger against your thumb. Turn the disc and see how your forefinger is pointing to the 7. Proceed in the same manner with the dates of death and the crests of the other 2 knights, and you will get the code. Put our thumb and our forefinger there. What is our forefinger on? It's the 7. And if we do 943, it's a 0. And then we do 958, it's also a 0. Then we have to put that code in, right? Which is 7, 0, 0, which is answer code 4, which is the grave answer card 22. The helmet opens. Inside, there's a narrow yet deep cavity. As you reach in, the first things you touch are just a bunch of leaves and a few worms. You bend lower and fish around inside the hole until, way down deep, you finally grab something. You bring an Old Testament into the light. Apparently, there was a 5th knight who helped to guard the secret. And then we find these riddle cards. So what have we here? Let's start with this one. My last will. I, Sir Thomas, wish to be laid to eternal rest at the side of my recently departed beloved Geraldine Greenwood. May my wife never find the gravesite. Ha ha, that's clever. My friend will make all the arrangements. The starting point for finding the grave is the northernmost park bench. From there, follow the path westward to the Mounted Knight. And here we have a grave with a lock, and our symbol here reads, They hunted for an artifact, but sadly failed, alas. Sir Edwin Bonfire. We've got some images. From there, take the path southward. We'll come back to that. It says, read the grave inscription out loud. When you have found the code, use it from right to left. So I do believe we are meant to use these in the family tree here, but I think we're going to be coming back to that. It seems right now we are supposed to be using this map here. The starting point for finding the grave is the northernmost park bench. From there, follow the path westward to the Mounted Knight. So here is, I think, the northernmost park bench. Following the path west to the Mounted Knight could be this one, or it could be that one. From there, take the path southward and then eastward toward the park bench at the first opportunity. The Mounted Knight, southward, then eastward toward the park bench at the first opportunity, which brings us to this park bench. Continue south from there and take the path to the southwest statue. Which would be this one, I suppose. 5 more steps and then you're standing right in front of our stone. Now take the right one. 5 more steps that they actually show here. Then you're standing right in front of our stone. Now take the right one. I think if I draw this path, it's a big S. And we're supposed to take a mystery riddle card. And I'm going to bet that that is riddle card S. Read the grave inscription out loud. When you have found the code, use it from right to left. 2RI 2WG 2RI 2 I did read some reviews of this game that mentioned this clue, and they said they would never get it. So let's see, what does it say? To solve this riddle, you have to have found riddle cards D, X, and Y. You will also need pages 6 and 7 of the book. You may want to start by drawing the path described in the cards D and X on page 6 and 7 of the book. We have actually done everything on this card already, so I'm not going to count that clue. All right, we found the S already and read the gravestone. So I guess we're just not understanding. Read the inscription on the gravestone out loud so that the pairing of the numbers and letters produce words. These words describe the location on the cemetery map where the code is hidden. P.S. Pronunciation is everything. On the gravestone, you see 2RI, 2WG. If you say these words slowly out loud, you will clearly hear the words 2RI, meaning tree, and 2WG, twig. So I guess you weren't supposed to read the letters, but that make the sounds. Tree, twig. And then you'll find these numbers hidden on the branches and the twigs. Reading them again from right to left would be, I know that's probably going to be very hard to see, but there's an 8 and a 0 and a 7. I can understand why people are upset about this clue. That was insane. 807 is card 11. The gravestone is 24. The small hatch on the grave rises up. Astonished, you realize there is a small hollow space behind it. Inside are a few old portrait sketches. You also discover an illustration of the old chapel. Strange. The decrepit chapel has not been used for a long time. Just as you are about to take off, you hear some twigs snapping behind you. Is somebody there? You hold your breath and listen. Everything seems quiet. It was probably just an animal. So, we have another gravestone with some lines on it. More people for our family tree. A mausoleum that reads, "From large to small, roses will show you the way." And more family tree people. So we've got a couple of roses there. And then we have this rose here. So I think these 3 clues, from large to small, roses will show you the way. So this is our largest rose. This reads, "From inside out." All of these indicate either numbers or letters. I think this is an S if we're going from inside out. This would make an E, V, E, N. 7. This one reads the wrong height. So let's see which one of these might be in the wrong height order. 1 is very small, 2 is a bit larger, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But we also have indicators here on the side. So a 1 should be 1. A 2 needs to be 2 of these indicators. 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is a little bit harder to read, but 1, 2, 3, 4 might be 5. What is 6? From there to there is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like 6 is the wrong size. So we've got 7, 6, and then we have this rose. I'm guessing it has something to do with the color splotches. I think we need to cut this out and fold it. I am stuck on this. I don't know what to do with it. We're going to need to look at a hint. The first one is generic. We've already established everything there. I'm not going to count that one. The second clue reads, "What are those dashed lines on page 11 of the book? It looks like an invitation to cut the gravestone. Have you noticed that each plant appears exactly twice?" I mean, maybe instead of folding it, I was supposed to cut everything out. I think that's a 2. So 7, 6, 2, which is not correct. Fantastic. Time for the answer. We had the 7 right. We had the 2 right. And we had the 6 right. We had them in the wrong order. Oh, from large to small. We got the order wrong. Oh. So what order should have this have been? From large to small. I've got to start paying better attention here. Large, medium, small. So it should have been 7, 2, 6. Answer card 29, which is the Mausoleum 21. You enter the chapel. The air is musty and there's all sorts of junk lying all over the place. An old painting draws your attention. It shows a few old knights who seem to be swearing an oath. You can sense how close you are. Brimming with motivation, you make your way to the crypt. Let's see if you can open the cursed door in time. Right, we have the Brotherhood of the Seven Knights with some crests. This says, the 17 is not what it seems. You may find an increasingly correct solution there. Let's go back to this one where we have all of these cards with the family tree and cut them out. So which order do these people go in is the question, and I think on his gravestone here, maybe it is in the order of these capitalized letters. We have starting with TH. We have somebody named Teresa, I believe. Yes, so let's start with TH. Then HU is Hubert. FO would be Fortuna. AN would be Anne. AR is Arthur. BU is Burnett. SA is Samuel. FA is Fabian. And then AL is Albert. So these are the order that they're in on the tombstone and on the family tree. I'm thinking we need to draw in the way their arms are crossed. So this arm goes like that, and like that. So that is, I think, a 2. Three. 5. 2, 3, 5. Answer card 2, which is 13. This one says, the statue's compartment springs open. You can hardly believe it, but it's empty. Somebody must have gotten here before you. At least you now know that Sir Edwin also belonged to the secret order of the knights. Immersed in your thoughts, a shudder suddenly runs down your back. You have the feeling that you are being watched. You look around, but there's nobody to be seen. Instead, you see the crypt of Sir Rustin looming out of the darkness. And we have riddle card K, which is his tomb. The 17 is not what it seems. You will find an increasingly correct solution there. My first thought was there's probably a 17 on the decoder disc here, and I know we need to use this decoder disc here because this little window looks like that. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I'm wondering if we need to look on answer card 17. It is, yes, okay. Here we have a tomb that says Sir Tom Coben. Only in the light of the waning crescent moon, select the smallest code. So we have our moons. We do have a moon showing here, which is the waxing crescent. Only in the light of the waning crescent moon, select the smallest code. Does that mean mirror image? Which could mean upside down. If we're upside down, it's 859 or 909. Let's try 859. That is not correct. So is 606 the right number? It is not. Under the light of the waning crescent moon, we do have underlined here. This E could be a 3. That B could be an 8. That O could be a 0. Answer code 28. Great, you're almost there. So Sir Coben was also a member. Just at this moment, the light of the moon falls upon the wall of the crypt, revealing outlines of an entrance. Together you push against it, and the wall slides away. Inside the crypt, you find a small treasure box, the artifact. But that's when things start to move fast. You hear a laugh, and the cemetery keeper threatens you with a pistol. You think you're pretty clever. Thanks for solving the riddle and finding the artifact for me. My plan worked. He takes the treasure box and disappears. The entrance closes behind him, and you are trapped. We've got our cardboard insert. We have images, an image of the crypt. The crypt door's fine, but now we figure it's time to make a version that's bigger. Start by finding what you need to make, or else you'll stay here and never escape. Once you get it, don't just hold it. Instead, consider trying to fold it. 3 arrows deserve special attention when solving the riddle. That's all we'll mention. We've got arrows on this door that has a lock, and our symbol here, that's the star. It looks like on the back of the insert here we have designs, so I think we need to fold this. We need to fold it to make it look like that. We've got the steps. I think this is how it is supposed to appear. The arrows are supposed to indicate something. We have symbols here. We've got the mystery symbols here. I guess if we go in the order of the arrows, it would be right, up, left. But they're colored. These are colored too. That's this symbol, and this symbol. All right, I popped this off. I hate to do that without being explicitly told, but if we put that there, and then we put these in the order, would be 9. That symbol would be 5, 6. That's not correct. If we did them in the order of the colors, it's not correct. The cardboard insert can be folded to create the wall around the door. I think we missed this step. This was supposed to go in here. Clearly I have messed up. This arrow is pointing to this symbol. This arrow is actually pointing here to this symbol. And this blue one here is pointing to this symbol. I'm going to go in the color order on this card is 2. 582. That gives us answer card 8. Here's our door card. The door opens. You don't want to just let the cemetery keeper get away with it, so you run to his house. No sooner have you slipped in than you see that the keeper is trying to open the treasure box. All of a sudden, a tiny arrow shoots from the lid. The keeper slumps over. You run to him and check his pulse. He is merely unconscious. The poison has apparently lost some of its effectiveness over the years. You examine the locked treasure box for other traps, but find nothing, except for a small hidden compartment in the side. And our riddle cards. We have our box, and the exit sign will give you access. Here we have exit the game. Is that what they're referring to? And these things fit right on top of it. I think we have this remaining clue with some shields. So this shield is the middle one. This appears to be the third one. And this round one is the first one. I'm not really sure what that does, but this creates a 1 right here. So a 1 maybe. When I put these 3 together, we get this correct order of the symbols. So if I line all of these up, put them all on here, that's an 8. Pretty sure this is still a 1. So I think it's 8, 4, 1. 25. We have the box, that's card 6. You enter the code and it sets a mechanism in motion. Something inside the treasure box starts to slide and rotate. Then the lid opens, but instead of an artifact inside the box, you find a very, very old parchment with a sketch drawn on it. This shows the map to a mystical gate that Sir Reston apparently discovered. It sounds like another exciting adventure that will once again require a demonstration of your skills. But that's a story for another day. After a call to the police, the cemetery keeper is taken into custody. He will have to answer for his deeds. You, on the other hand, are free to set off for home with a well-deserved sense of satisfaction. I am not leaving with a well-deserved sense of satisfaction. I think this ending was a little anticlimactic. I think it could have been a little more exciting, left us with something. I know a lot of other adventure games give you like a little prize at the end or something. This one just seems like an advertisement for another game. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. But first, we need to calculate our final score, and it is now 9:45. It took us 2 hours and 30 minutes. And about 15 cards. So what does that give us? We were over the 2-hour mark. We used more than 10 cards. We got 1 star. 1 whole star. This was not a good one for me, but what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. And we'll play another one of these soon, but I've got lots of different versions, different brands of escape games for us to try. So stay tuned for those if you're interested. Till then, take care, everyone, and happy puzzling.